Hey there, traders and investors. It's Rod with Pow Group. Welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth for a daily market recap. Today is Wednesday, March 24th, and the topic of today's video is going to be New York reaching a deal on adult recreational legalization. So we'll look at that in just a second. We'll go over some other news and events, and we'll look at the broader market, the crypto market, the individual tickers, and we'll also look at the MJ space. And I'm going to be doing everything in one video. I have a physio appointment to run to. My hand has been healing, so showing some progress, a little bit slower than anticipated, but hopefully in a month or two I'll be back good as new. So before we jump in, make sure to smash the like and subscribe to the channel. So we saw that Elon Musk dropped a ball on everybody today. No one had seen that coming, but it was right on cue. Bitcoin was basically confirming a daily downtrend, and Elon Musk at it again. This isn't the first time, but he understands markets, and he, in my opinion, timed that news perfectly. But essentially, you can now buy a Tesla with Bitcoin. We saw a lot of weakness today in the tech sector, so QQQ, and I think that is attributed to the meeting tomorrow, which is the House Energy and Commerce Committee on March 25th, that the CEOs of Facebook, Google, and Twitter will all be making appearances at. So we'll keep an eye on that tomorrow. U.S. durable goods orders fell 1.1% in February versus 0.8% increase expected. So just looking over this deal here on the New York topic. So New York is ready to legalize recreational MJ. The state would impose special taxes and prepare to legalize dispensaries under an agreement reached by Andrew Cuomo and legislative leaders. So it is our understanding that we have a three-way agreement and it has been reached. That bill drafting is in the process of finishing a bill that we all have said we support. So it'd be 21 years and up, and they would impose 13% sales tax, 9% of which would go to the state and 4% to localities. And there would be an excise tax of about 3 cents per milligram of THC. And they estimate it would bring in about $350 million a year once fully implemented, and it is on the top of their priority list. Also saw that Zenabis announces launch of re-up pre-roll multi-pack, so that's cool. I was just thinking of this yesterday that it'd be cool if Hexo got into something like that. And basically, Zenabis is Hexo, so we'll consider it as good as Hexo. But essentially, they are going to be offering new 10 and 20 multi-pack indica and sativa 0.5 gram pre-roll formats. This unique multi-pack will be available initially in Quebec and Alberta, and larger 20-pack format early April with national rollout of both formats expected in time for the 420 celebrations. Pretty cool. So taking a look at the crypto space, we are falling off a cliff here. Wow. That is some significant weakness. And we're coming up on 53,000. 53,000 is the level. So Elon Musk tried to pull a fast one, tried to save it from the abyss, but even after that news, that is a huge red flag. We just formed a daily lower high, and that's all we were going to anticipate compared to 60,100. And here we are, right back down at 53,200 support and 53,000 next. If we lose 53,000, that is a confirmed follow-through daily downtrend, and weekly consolidation will be underway. And then we have weekly support down at 43,000 after that. EMA 12 sitting at 46,100, which also lines up with our previous daily support at 46,200. So if we do lose that and see that follow through, I would expect to move down to around the $46,000 range. So taking a look at SPY after hours, we are up, but not by much. We're up a little less than 0.1%. And we saw a pretty nasty sell-off into the end of the day. We had increasing bear volume, and we have daily support on deck at 387.15. If we lose 387.15, we confirm a daily downtrend, and then weekly consolidation mode will be back on as well. So very similar to Bitcoin. And a lot of the broader market is showing weakness. So weekly inside bar, potentially going to break bearish. We had a daily inside bar that broke bearish today. And we were looking at support at 388.66. And now here we are testing our daily higher low and trying to fight off a daily downtrend here on the S&P 500. The dollar bouncing, which isn't surprising. We are over the 92.50 resistance, which means we have a weekly higher high. And the weekly uptrend continues. And we have no real resistance up until about 94.30. So we could see a move up to around the $94 area and a potential EMA 12 and 26 bull cross. IWM was down, closed at the low of the day, I do believe. Yes, it did. It's got support at 207, so a lot of weakness out there. QQQ, daily consolidation, and closed at the low of the day. It's got support at 309.66, also on the verge of confirming a daily downtrend. So if crypto, QQQ, SPY, all major broader sectors were to confirm daily downtrends, look at this, SMH, support at 228.80, and we hit a low today of 229.14, so that coming into play tomorrow as well, and we could be setting daily downtrends across the board. That is not what bulls want to see. If you're a bull in the stock market, that's the last thing you want to see. Oil with a huge bounce today, 6%, could be topping out here at the EMAs. So just be cautious. We did have a daily bear flag and daily downtrend confirmed. So again, all silver week lost its daily uptrend. So pretty much all sectors are pulling back simultaneously. Gold definitely standing out as one of the stronger assets as we are still in a daily uptrend. So we have support here at 17.19 and then key support at 16.99. If we lose 16.99, we lose that daily uptrend. But gold has definitely got my attention. Biotech sector just continues to get destroyed. Down over 5% today, closed at the low of the day, support at 128.44. But again, this is not what we want to see as bulls. XLE, potential daily bear flag at this point, and potential lower high being set with a rejection there at the EMAs. So we could see more downside continuation here. XLF, same deal, potential daily bear flag and topping out at EMA 12 and closed at the low of the day. So it's looking like we could see more downside in the broader market. Healthcare sector basically closed flat today, didn't break the low of yesterday, so still has yet to start daily consolidation, but closed at the low of the day on increasing bear volume. Wouldn't be surprised if we saw some weakness tomorrow. But SPY has some important, a lot of names have important daily support coming up and then weekly support right after. And as long as we maintain weekly uptrends, we can't really give too much in way of the bears. They haven't really proved anything yet. We need to lose those weekly uptrends. So on the individual list here, we had GME down over 33%, AMC 15%, JMIA, DFLY. On the bull list, we had not many, SU and AC. So pretty red day out there today. And our algo called out AC, liked it around $25. And we got as low as $25.60. And then today hit a high of $27.32. But again, need to be cautious here. It could be a potential daily lower high, rejecting at the EMAs. And we risk a daily downtrend now. If we lose the low of yesterday at $25.60, we confirm a daily downtrend and a significant momentum shift. But I did make a couple of trades today, a couple trade attempts. I shorted SPY and QQQ. That played out real nice. I shorted QQQ off the back test of the 50-day moving average and the 10-week moving average, which confirmed as as resistance. And I covered most of my QQQ and entered SPY today and was just looking for 15-minute lower highs, and then I shorted, then saw that we were potentially breaking the daily inside bar, bearish, so I held and then sold it pretty much at the end of the day. Made about 3 or 4% off SPY, but I did try to trade BlackBerry today, and I'll just go back to that trade. So it was right here. We had the low of the day at 988. So I entered here on that low. I think I filled at about 992 or 993. I was looking for that 5-minute bounce. I was playing off the low of the day. We were getting extreme. I was also looking for a potential hourly oversold bounce on SPY and QQQ, and got stopped out. Ended up getting stopped out basically for like a 2-penny loss. and set my stop under the low of the day, and I got stopped out. But that's why we use stop losses, because 2 or 3 cent loss could have ended up being turned into a 40 or 30 cent loss pretty quickly, and easily lost 3% from there, and just rejecting at the EMAs. Clear brick wall of resistance. I also entered GME with a failed attempt, but I had the right idea. Let's take a look at the chart here. So playing off the low of the day here at 145, we saw this gap down, and we had a gap in the chart. We were down 18%. Their earnings were terrible. They missed on EPS and revenue, and then the company also mentioned that they could be potentially, just reformatting their company and potentially raising shares to change their strategy and their business model. So I was looking for a potential oversold bounce, but again, it can always go lower than you think. We were down about 20%, and one could think, oh, well, we're probably going to bounce here. We did, but we didn't see much follow through, so I entered on this back test looking for a play off of 145. I entered around like 146, was risking a little over $1, about $1.50, set my stop at 144.70 or so, and then I got stopped out here at 143. And then we kept going down to about 141, and that's when we finally bottomed out. And we were seeing this bullish RSI divergence, with the RSI trending higher highs and higher lows, and we were trending lower highs and lower lows. And in hindsight, the EMA 12 was a nice resistance break to be watching, and as soon as we got over that, that was the go signal. But again, I was just a little bit too early on that one, but set my stop. And it's a good thing that we utilize stops, because like I said, down from that entry, I would have been down at the end of the day, down almost another 20%. So it can absolutely go lower than we think. All right, so we'll move on to some other tickers. So EV space was weak today. Tesla down almost 5%, closed near the low of the day. We've been saying this for a while now, that EV has been weak and topping out at the EMAs. I was short QQQ in the tech sector. NEO is also weak today, down over 10%, and daily downtrend confirmed. So we're seeing a lot of weakness in the markets. So moving on to Canadian MJ, we still see daily consolidation underway, and I mean, for the most part, MJ holding up relatively well, right? We're only down, we're not even down double digits here. Huge NSP, SNDL, and a lot of names, right? You got GME down over 30%. Some names, you got Fire, BLNS, which closed green. And then, like I said, just most names down, between 2, 5, 7% on average. So around 5% on average, maybe 4%. And again, just looking for daily higher lows. And if you're surprised by this pullback, maybe you want to join our group at pursuitofwealthgroup.com or powgroup.ca. Or consider, subscribing to this channel, tick the bell. This is something we've been calling out now for days, if not for weeks. It's been at least a week now that I've been calling out this downside potential. And Hexo is an example of that. After earnings, we went to 850, and now we pulled back about 20%. SNDL, from its low a couple of weeks ago, we went about 100%, but a 90% move. And you don't just go 90% without confirming a daily uptrend. Nothing goes up forever. We knew the most likely scenario was a higher low compared to 93. So we had the low high at 175, and then we were anticipating a higher low. We even had here a lower high into a lower low. So now we're back into this consolidation, seeing further downside today. And again, all about those higher lows at 93 cents, pretty much the exact same for all Canadian MJ. So ACB closer to its support. APHA still a ways away from its support, down at 1378. CGC 2804, it has daily support at. Hexo at 558 USD. OGI still a ways away from its support, holding on to EMA 26. So in my opinion, MJ holding up relatively well. Tilray, its support down at 1823. VFF closer to support, closed at the low of the day. So VFF has been weak. And taking a look at USMJ, MSOS, so again, just looking for these higher lows compared to 40.80. And we need to change hourly to an hourly uptrend on all of these names. So if we can confirm hourly uptrends on all of these names, we can be confident that the daily higher lows are set. But taking a look at the bull and bear list, we have GRWG, BioHarvest, Acreage, and TUG. We have MJNA, GTII, and BAM leading the bull list. So checking in on CL. So CL holding up relatively well. Still a daily inside bar that we're watching tomorrow. And it looks like it's got earnings here on, I believe it's pre-market tomorrow. I'll just double check that. So March 25th, before the market open. Yep, Charlotte's Web as well tomorrow. So holding well here going into earnings. Cura. So daily inside bar as well. So USMJ definitely standing out. GTII was closed up 2% today. We did break the low of yesterday, but just barely. Not much follow through. TrueLeave, daily inside bar. So USMJ definitely standing out. And wondering if we see an update on the Safe Banking Act at some point in the next couple of days. We need to be looking out for news on New York. And we'll see if there's any updates or progress on SAFE. But I'm looking forward to that. So in summary, just make sure that you are hedging. And just remember that we're not even in weekly consolidation mode yet. So what happens when SPY loses its weekly uptrend or starts to consolidate on the weekly? You need to account for all angles. And I know a lot of people in our group today were kind of surprised by this move. And if you're finding yourself wondering if you should sell all the time, then there's a good chance that you likely need to at least trim and take some profits. But again, this isn't financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. You are 100% responsible for all the trades you make. But if you want to bounce some ideas off of myself and other people in our group, you can check out pursuitofwealthgroup.com or powgroup.ca. Check us out for a 1 week free trial. They end at the end of the month and no credit card required. And like I said, you can bounce ideas off of people in our group. We've got everybody from new investors to experienced, disciplined investors, and with years and years under their belt. So if you want an extra opinion, you can join our group, check it out, and you can get a second opinion before you hit that buy or sell button. So thanks again for joining us on the Pursuit of Wealth for a daily market recap. We're going to end it there. Take care, everybody. Have a great night, and we'll see you tomorrow after market close.